Hello, welcome to the first installment of TMRZoo's MMA picks via YouTube. I'm Riot Boyer,
Blake Woody.
and we're here to run down UFC 155 Dos Santos versus Velasquez. Starting with the undercard first, Blake, what really grabs your attention?
There are a couple big things. Leonard Garcia is back on the card. He's always very exciting. He's fighting, I believe he was a tough standout, Max Holloway. Duffy is back on the card. This is his first fight since the New Year's Eve Dream card. I think it was 2010 when Overeem knocked him out. So it's good to see him back. And
Some time off from Dairy Queen. He'll be fighting Philip the Fries. The Fries.
We're still not sure.
Yeah. Erroneous. Should be a very good matchup.
The other big fight that I would say is really what to look out for. There are two fight of the night candidates. Would be Jamie Varner versus Melvin Guillard. Got moved from this last card to 155 due to Varner getting sick. And Brad Pickett versus Eddie Wineland, who have been at the top of 135 for years now.
After Pickett's last knockout, I am very anxious to see that fight. So, we'll go ahead and we will start off. Who do you like in Holloway's versus Garcia?
Sorry, Dwayne, but definitely going to have to go with Holloway. Garcia has looked like he's improved a little. He's getting more technical, less wild winging punches, but I still going to have to go with Holloway.
It's okay. Dwayne's leaving to go off to Alpha Male.
He's leaving us for Alpha Male,
California, so he can't hurt us anymore. All right, I'm going to go with Holloway too. I think Garcia had some great fights that kind of glorified losing or winning by decision very controversially. That's kind of propelled his name out there, but I think Holloway's going to start making his splash in the UFC. Moving on, Duffy versus the Frays. I like Duffy.
Yeah.
I like Duffy. I think the Frays is going to have to take him down and try and submit him, and I think Duffy's probably going to catch him, find an uppercut, drop him, finish it off with a hammer fist. He's familiar with those.
I think he's a little too quick. His footwork is spaced out. It's going to be hard to take down.
Yeah, and then last on the undercard, we want to talk about Pickett versus Wineland.
It's a hard one. Brad Pickett's been my guy for years, though, so I'm gonna ride on Pickett. I have to go with him, even though Wineland just knocked out Jorgensen, who's my other guy at 135. But
Pickett just knocked out Chaboin, which was a brutal knockout, and you kind of get the feeling he was waiting the whole card or the whole fight to unleash that. Wineland is coming off some great fights. But I'm going to go with Pickett. I'm going to go with Pickett as well. All right. Moving on to the main card. In the first match, we have Chris Lieben, who will be fighting Derek Brunson. What do you know about Brunson?
He's a three-time Division II NCAA wrestler. He's also some sort of championship cheerleading team.
He's got spirit. Yes, he does.
He also fights out at Jackson's. He trains with guys like Frankie Edgar and John Jones. So he's getting a really good camp, and with that wrestling background, I expect him to have pretty good cardio, which can be Lieben's downfall. Usually only when he's been taking damage.
Yeah, and he does tend to take a bit of damage. But this is also, Chris Lieben is a veteran of the sport. This is Brunson's first fight in the UFC. Did a lot. It was Strikeforce.
Yeah.
Did a lot in Strikeforce, but it's completely different, completely overwhelming. For a lot of guys when they make their debut, Lieben's a tough veteran. I'm going to go with Lieben. I'm going to say, you know what, we'll see what Brunson's... I mean, he did just get knocked out by...
Jacare in 40 seconds.
Doesn't knock out that many people.
No, he's Jiu-Jitsu world champion. Usually the hands don't come with that. But
we need to see Tim Kennedy, by the way, in the UFC.
He's supposed to be coming back over here pretty soon.
Maybe we'll talk about that on our post-fight show. So moving on then, we have... So I'm going Lieben.
Yeah.
All right, so coming up then, we have Yushin Okami versus Alan the Talent Belcher. And I'm pretty sold on this one. I'm going to go Belcher.
Yeah, I don't have enough good things to say about Yushin Okami. He's always going to be at the top of the division, but Belcher has been up and coming for a long time, ever since he knocked out Wilson Govea. I've been singing his praises, and after big performances over Patrick Cote and just recently Paul Harris, I don't see a place where Okami can really beat him. He might be able to take him down, but that's not really a safe place anymore.
Yeah, I think Belcher's that guy who would be a lot bigger of a name if he stayed healthy.
Yeah.
And hopefully
kept
he
his retinas intact.
Just keeps the keeps the ball rolling. This is actually going to be our first official play, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this a 4-unit play. Belcher is minus 105 at 5 dimes right now, so we're going to be risking to win 4 units on Alan Belcher. Lock it in. All right. Then coming up, we have Tim. We have a battle of really hard to say last names. Boetsch versus Philppou. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I don't want
Costa.
To Costa.
Let's call him Costa.
Yeah, Costa.
That one's easy.
2 guys have been really on a roll lately. Boetsch with that just really big guy. I mean, just really overpowers people. We were talking about earlier, his judo throw versus Nick Ring was in Denver was sick.
And the one with David Heath where he threw him into the corner of the cage and knocked him out was also one of my favorite moments.
It was so good. We're going to have to make sure that we had the GIF added onto this page so you can scroll down and watch it right now. We'll wait. Wasn't that awesome? Yeah. Okay. I think it's going to be a really good fight. The odds are pretty much even. Tim Boetsch is minus 105. And I think I'm going to have to go with Boetsch.
Yeah. Despite Philppou's possible boxing advantage, he's a better striker. He's very, very durable, but Boetsch is the bigger guy. He's been able to toss around better strikers than Costa, so I expect Boetsch to win.
Get him pressed up against the cage. Some dirty boxing, some knees.
Yeah. He's got some powers. Yeah, we just saw him knock out Yushin Okami with some nasty uppercuts. And a big comeback. What is that? Rampage versus Jones?
Yes.
Is that fight? Yeah.
No, Rampage versus Jones was when Boetsch fought.
No, yeah, sorry, you're right.
Boetsch fought Nick Ring. Moving on. We have Jim Miller versus Joe Lauzon. And actually pretty excited for this fight. What do you think?
This is easily the hardest pick on the main card. I'd say Miller, if it goes past 1 round, he's definitely likely to take it. He's incredibly durable. Probably the most well-rounded guy in all of 155. All his losses are like the top 4 guys.
Joe Lauzon has some sneaky jiu-jitsu, though.
Yes.
I mean, he can pull stuff out of nowhere, or sometimes he'll use his strikes to set up his submissions. Mm-hmm. We saw that with Gabe Rudiger, and so touchy subject.
He's definitely a really, really good first-round fighter. We've seen him time and time again. Even in the Soteropoulos fight he lost, he dropped him a couple times. He's a really good striker. And if he can close it up, I think he wins this one. Normally, I would go with Miller, but we noticed that Lauzon is a pretty decent underdog.
Yeah, Joe Lauzon coming in at 185, plus 185. And
Miller's minus 200.
It's about minus 220. So, I mean, it's really hard to drop that money on Miller, especially this fight can go either way. I think we're going to take our chances, and we're going to throw 2 units on Joe Lauzon to try and win about 4.7 units. Also, in the previous fight, we did determine that Tim Boetsch was worth a play. We're going to go ahead and he's minus 105. We're going to risk to win 3 units on Tim Boetsch. And that brings us to our main event of the evening, a rematch that's highly anticipated by everybody except maybe Cain Velasquez fans. The first fight wasn't that even.
it was a big letdown just because the way it was set up by the UFC. There was I think the first Fox card, and it was the only fight, and it ended in
really
like
cool.
2 minutes.
Yeah, that was a big fizzle. But we're talking about Dos Santos versus Cain Velasquez. Obviously, Dos Santos took the belt from Cain Velasquez, who was wearing it for quite some time. Well, not that long. He took it from Brock Lesnar.
He took Brock, and then that was it.
Yeah, I think there was a longer. I'm talking about day span here now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And since then, Velasquez has looked strong against Bigfoot Silva.
Bigfoot.
But I mean, the thing about Dos Santos is, I haven't ever seen him in danger. There's never that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, Dos Santos is. Oh no. Oh, okay, he's good. I mean, versus Big Country, he just battered away at Big Country until the end of the round. And there were 3 rounds. He's got a tough chin. Battered away at Carwin. He's seen some great strikers. I think Velasquez's only chance is, either a lucky shot or to take him to the ground and hold him.
His ground and pound is pretty ridiculous. If he can get him down and start landing some bombs, Dos Santos could be in trouble. But Dos Santos is not a guy you can hold down. In training, that's all we hear about is his hips are just ridiculous, and nobody can hold the guy down.
This is a 5-round fight. It's not going to happen 5 rounds. I mean, even if it started off with Velasquez and Dos Santos guard at the beginning of all 5 rounds, I would pick Dos Santos by submission.
Yeah.
I'm going with Dos Santos. I think we've made that a mutual pick.
I don't think Dos Santos is going out for a long time.
Dos Santos is minus 200 right now. Going to go ahead and risk 4 units to win 2 more to our total. So quick rundown. We're taking Alan Belcher to win 4 units, minus 105. Tim Boetsch, minus 105 to also win, or to win 3 units.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Lauzon, plus 185, and we're risking 2 units on him. And Junior Dos Santos, minus 200, risking 4 units to win 2.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't think we put anything on Lieben just because we haven't seen the odds yet.
Yeah, the odds aren't out yet.
Because Brunson's actually a replacement fight for Carlos Bemla, who pulled out last week, I think.
We are filming this a few days early with Christmas coming up. I'm going to be in DC, but we will be there when the video is posted to chat. And if the lines change or the new lines come in, anything that looks interesting to us, we'll let you guys know. All right? Thank you for checking out TMRZoo.com. I'm Riot.
Blake.
Have a good fight.